Coming to you live from the bottom of the tallest educational building in the Western Hemisphere, it's Pitt Tonight! Your host, Jesse Owen!
Whew. Wow. Well, we're here. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Pitt Tonight, episode 3. Welcome. Can you believe this? We spent so much time here today putting everything together. Production was working since like 9:30 this morning. We had marketing coming in here and just putting all of their signs and getting ready. We had writing here, prepping me and making sure I sound somewhat funny. We had the house band here. Give it up for everyone who is part of Pitt Tonight, because this is
for myself, I don't care.
Yeah, do it, man. I mean, hey, Raghav, this is the 3rd show. And like the 3rd child, we're not really sure how it happened. No, we do have a fantastic episode. We have Vice Chancellor Kathy Humphrey here tonight. She has some special stuff coming, don't you worry. We also have MacArthur Fellowship winner and poet and Professor Terrance Hayes here tonight. We also have student government board candidates here to have a little debate. We'll be asking them if we can get new monkey bars for the playground, so here's to hoping, right? No, let's look at some news. Burger King has announced that they'll be adding hot dogs to their menu starting on February 23rd. Alex Macedo, the president of Burger King North America, said, quote, "This is probably the most obvious product launch ever." Really? Burger King has a president? Yeah, the addition of hot dogs is in response to McDonald's all-day breakfast and Wendy's 4-for-4 deal. Because the only thing better than an Egg McMuffin for lunch is a wiener for breakfast. Yeah, and now to keep pace with BK's new hot dogs, Arby's has announced its own new menu option, the Live Dog.
Taste the freshness.
We have the treats. Yeah, speaking of hopeless voids, scientists have detected this collision of 2 black holes a billion light years away. Amazing. I mean, the discovery proves Einstein's theory of relativity. And I am told that that is a big deal. Failed astronomy, so that's not a joke. Seriously, no, I mean, what went into that is incredible. It involved 2 gravity wave detectors, 16 countries, 25 years, 1,000 scientists, and not 1 orgasm.
You love it. You love it.
Scientists say that they'll now be refocusing their efforts to solve the universal mystery of Smucker's Uncrustables. Where did the crust go?
It's a mystery.
That's a question. If anyone has a response, let me know. Now, in Kanye, you love Kanye's new album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
You had a listening party, you invited me, and then he didn't even drop the album. Are you still having this party?
I forgave him after the album came out. Is the thing.
You loved it. You know the song Famous, right?
Oh, it's a banger.
Yeah, so in Famous, he takes responsibility for making Taylor Swift famous, right? Yeah, he also went on to claim that he invented chicken tenders, rules the tides, and wrote all of Pretty Little Liars. Nice move. In order to repair 2 bridges in the state of New York, they have decided to divert water from Niagara Falls in 2018. Not a joke. Which, according to the ways work, would make them not falls?
Hey, Jesse, you want to go look at some damp rocks?
Yeah. Like, do you love not seeing water? Well, do we have the place for you? The turnoff is expected to be a boon to the local economy, except, of course, to the makers of ponchos and barrels.
Rats.
Now, many are wondering where all this fresh water will end up. And by many, I mean Flint, Michigan.
Not cool, not cool.
Probably shouldn't have written that cute. A 69-year-old Spanish man was fined this week after it was discovered that he hadn't shown up for work in at least 6 years, which I think over there is just called a siesta. Hey, I mean, 6 years may sound like a lot, but remember, I mean, Spain runs on the metric system. What is that, like 2 kilograms?
That's what my dealer tells me.
Yeah. Okay, we saw this. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia passed away this week at the age of 79. President Obama is expected to be nominating a new Supreme Court justice, while Joe Biden is expected to finally unlock that secret skate park in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. Use the double kickflip, Joe.
Joe knows.
Yeah. The next installment, this is exciting. You'll love this. The next installment of the Harry Potter series will be in the form of a play titled Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I'm assuming the cursed child's the one with the mother's hair color?
No soul.
No. But the story, it's cool. The story will follow Harry Potter, an overworked employee of the Ministry of Magic and father of 3. So now that he's defeated the Dark Lord, he'll be battling crippling depression and male pattern baldness. One heck of a plot. The play will be adapted and published as a book with sequels, such as Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fireball.
Yummy.
Yeah, it sounds like a good one. Harry Potter and the Order of the PTA Meeting. And my personal favorite, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood, Half-Urine. We have one heck of a show for you guys. Give it up for the allies of the Boulevard. Monologue. Check. We're doing all right, Raghav.
Not bad, yeah.
Wow. So this week was Pitt's career fair, and some of you, no doubt, already have interviews lined up. So we here at Pitt Tonight decided that we'd give you some great interview tips to help land that first job in a segment we like to call Do's and Don'ts. No clap required. I feel like Jeb Bush right now. This is good. R.I.P. Jeb's campaign. Right. So these are do's and don'ts of what in an interview. Mom, you don't need to film this. We have people taping it. It's fine. I promise you. It's fine. There's no bootleg copy. All right, here we go. Do. Talk about prior work experience. Don't. Talk about that work experience being court mandated.
Doesn't go over well.
It didn't go over well. Do. Ask questions about the job. Don't. Ask if they drug test. Do. Make a good first impression. Don't. Try to do impressions. My greatest weakness is I'm a perfectionist. Yes, Raghav, that's Christopher Walken. Right?
Stick to Bernie.
Just do the Bernie. Do. Have a firm handshake. Don't. Have a full milkshake. Yeah, bring a milkshake to an interview.
Yo, if you brought me a milkshake, I'd hire you on the spot.
You're a weird employer. Do. Be confident throughout the interview. Don't. Sing Confident by Demi Lovato throughout the interview. You love that song.
I've never even heard that song.
Oh, you know it. Yeah. Do. Give an interview they'll never forget. Don't. Talk about 9/11.
That's not funny. Who wrote that? Jesus Christ.
Do. Dress for the job you want. Don't undress for the job you want. Do have a positive attitude. Don't be all weird about it.
Hate those people.
You are those people.
Smiling and shit.
Do outline your skill set to the interviewer. Don't tell the interviewer that you have a particular set of skills. That's Liam Neeson, Rob.
It's
Finally, do sell yourself to the interviewer. Don't sell anything else to the interviewer. Those are your do's and don'ts. We'll be right back. Pitt Tonight. We have a great guest coming out first. She is the Vice Chancellor of our university. She's formerly the Dean of Students. Everybody knows her as both. Let's get a warm welcome applause for Kathy Humphrey. All right, come take a seat. Nice timing. Did you know that it was going to be like this?
No, but it's great.
We even have water if you're thirsty.
It's impressive.
Straight from Rite Aid. So let's just talk about first, before we get into one of the main reasons that you're here. Again, we have campus celebrities on, and we tell them they're campus celebrities, and it feels good because they're known. But this is unprecedented. You are like the most popular person in Pittsburgh. I mean, seriously, it's not even a question. What has that been like for you to, as Dean of Students and now Vice Chancellor, and everyone comes up to you and you're so kind and so friendly? I mean, what do you do? How do you do it? I need tips.
Okay, first, you cannot think about it.
So let's take a step back.
Yes. You just have to, you know what, if you just enjoy the ride, right, other people come along, but you've got to enjoy your ride, right?
That's very true.
If you're out there trying to be the most liked person, nobody likes you. Is that right?
Enjoy the ride.
No, who wants to like that person?
That one went well. So, you're from Kansas City.
That's right.
Let's take a step back here. What was Kansas City like?
Kansas City is, most people, when they hear that I'm from Kansas City, images of cows walking across the road appear in their heads. But in actuality, Kansas City is a lot like Pittsburgh, actually, only it's all flat. And you can see for miles, and the difference is, if you can see it, you really can get to it. Not true for Pittsburgh. Okay. All right, but Kansas City is it's a very tight community, very nice people, just like Pittsburgh. Very similar.
Wow, and then you came to Pitt.
Well,
let's.
I had some detours.
Where'd you detour?
So first I worked at Drake University in Iowa.
Iowa, okay.
Iowa.
Are there more cows in Iowa or Kansas City?
There are more cows in Iowa, for sure. And then I went from Iowa, I went back to Kansas City and I worked at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. Then I went back to my alma mater and I worked there for a while, which is in a city not far from Kansas City called Warrensburg, Missouri. I was married by then.
You were married by then. Your husband does he own a food truck?
Yes.
He runs what is the cuisine?
Well, he makes, where is he?
Is he here?
I don't know if he's in here or not. But he makes,
yeah,
we'll just kind of wave somewhere if he's in here. And so he makes a lot of smoked food like ribs and brisket and pulled pork sandwiches, but he also makes a fried fish taco that's really good.
Wow. What's it like having a husband that's a cook? Because I can tell you right now, I probably won't be one of those husbands. At least right now.
My husband wasn't always a chef. He initially one day I was doing a presentation. I can't remember. This is when I did a lot of consulting work, and I was doing a workshop for somebody about a presentation. Is your life in rhythm with the purpose of your life? And he was with me, and I said to him, "Are you doing what you want to do?" And he said, "Not really." And I thought, whoa. What do you want to do? Because I was definitely doing what I wanted to do, and I thought we are not young. You better do it, because we're gonna die soon, right? And you better get this in, right? And so he said I would really like to go to culinary school, and I thought, okay.
Did that surprise you at all, or was he cooking and you were like, all right, this is probably gonna happen?
You know what? He always cooked. He cooked so much that when my boys were little bitty boys, they were protesting because in the nursery they were told they couldn't use the kitchen. And because they had a father that was always in the kitchen that was just foreign to them, actually that was the Christmas that we bought them a kitchen. You know, little plastic kitchens. And so that they could play with the rubber peas and all that kind of stuff. And
I used to eat the rubber peas.
You ate the rubber peas. So at that point, he went to culinary school, and then he became a chef, and voila, bing. Now, we owned a restaurant in St. Louis.
Yeah,
and when we came here, we decided that we didn't want to do that, because I actually didn't think I was going to be here this long.
Yeah, so you came here in 2000, 2001?
No, I came here in 2005.
2005, okay.
And I thought that I would leave here after 3 years, because I had been in that kind of a position at St. Louis University for a long time.
And this was Dean of Students?
Well, it was the same job, really. It was called Vice President of Student Affairs, but it was the same, pretty much the same
Apples
job.
And oranges.
Right,
yeah.
same job. Right.
So you were Dean of Students officially for how long?
10 years here.
10 years.
9.5, but 10, yeah. Let's say 10. Let's round.
And do you feel, this might get a little deep, prepare yourselves. Do you think that your role as Dean of Students, I know you love children, and I mean, do you think that role confirmed your love for education? What did that do for you, just being in such a role where you're interacting with kids constantly? Well,
so I love this college. I love college students. I love this age group. And you know, most people don't like you.
I don't blame you.
Because this is a hard time in life, right? You're kind of in this kind of a weird zone.
You just have to get to know us.
You just have to get to know you. That's right. You just have to get to know you. But the reality is that you are adults, but not quite, but sorta. It's kind of a weird situation you're in, right?
It depends who you ask.
You're still some of you are completely, but then some of you are still dependent upon your parents, and so that it's kind of strange, right? It's just a strange existence, but it's a great existence. You're still trying to figure out where's the line, like, you know,
right.
How bad can it get before people have a problem with me? And
I'm just gonna do my Kermit the Frog impression.
Exactly. but it is a great time, and the reason why I love college students is because they have so much hope, so much aspiration. They believe they can do anything, even stuff they can't do. They believe they can do it, and I love that. I love that because oftentimes when you think they can't, they can. And they're willing to push the envelope, but somewhere along the way, and don't you ever lose this, somewhere people lose that. And then they get into this box, and then they start believing they can't do anything. But it's one of the reasons why I love them so, is because they have such amazing aspiration.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. So, now you're in a new role, but you've seen the transition of chancellors. What's it like working with Gally instead of Nordy?
Well, it's, you know, both people really, for my purposes, loved students. And that made it very easy for me. As a matter of fact, I was on the search committee for the new chancellor, and as the dean of students, that's because that was my role at that point in time. I was really looking for somebody who was going to love the students like I did, because that makes my job easier when the chancellor loves the students and really care about and they both are very committed to that. And so in that respect, they're very, very much the same. I reported to the provost before, so I didn't report to the chancellor directly, indirectly, like when there was a crisis. Me and Norton Burke were buddies, right? And he was a good guy to be in a foxhole with. But my day-to-day was really with the provost more so than with the chancellor, and so that's kind of a really big difference. And now my day-to-day is with the chancellor. So. And
you have a great office. I was in there on Friday, and you have signed everything. You've got art, like pointillism, that's what we're talking about. Everything. It's very cool.
Blue and gold.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. All right, so you do everything. You're talking about kids can do anything. You can do anything. You are in 9, which is the musical being put on here by the Pitt Theater Arts Program. You agreed to do this a year ago, and I mean, it sounds like you're still up for it. Can we talk? You've got a great voice.
About a year ago, I got a call from Anne Marie Dugan, and actually I got a letter, and she was basically saying she is amazing. She was asking me if I would do it. Well, you know, a year, when somebody asks you if you'll do something a year from now.
Well, when people ask you to do something, you will just say yes.
Well, you know, but if they say, you know, well, can you do X, Y, or Z for me a year from now? You just think, you can do anything a year from now. I mean, it may never come. I mean, you know, you can do anything a year from now, right?
Do you want to come back on the show a year from now?
So, of course, I said, you know, with
She didn't say yes or no.
I learned quickly. So, of course, I said, sure, you know, I'll do anything for the students, right? And so, in about December, you know, over the break, I thought, oh my Lord, I really have to do this.
You went to your iPhone calendar and you saw it on there.
Oh, this, you know, so I thought, I got the book out, I start looking, I thought, oh my Lord, I've got lots of lines to learn. I've got a song to learn.
You sing the title song.
9.
The song is called 9. The musical is called 9.
It's a lot of pressure.
You could not have more.
Let's just don't talk. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, let's talk about. So the people behind it are great too. Dennis and Ricardo and that whole. I mean, Emery, they're fantastic.
You know what? Our theater department is amazing.
Yeah. We wouldn't be here without the theater department. Give it up.
You know, it's really, in a lot of ways, this is a true joy for me to be able to sit beside students, you know, actually almost every night, and listen to them work their craft, and watch them operate, and watch them really, I mean, they are true professionals, and they're quick. They're so quick, it's scary to me, right? It's a little.
I work with theater students.
Yes, it's a little intimidating, actually, because, you know, we do the first run through, they're reading it through like I'm thinking they memorized these lines already, right?
Yeah,
so
you gotta be on top of your game.
Right. So I'm trying to keep up with them, but I'm running hard.
Are you ready? So it's April 7th through the 17th.
No, I'm not ready, but I'm going to be.
Well, it's going to be fantastic. You can see Vice Chancellor, formerly Dean Humphrey, in 9 on April 7th through the 17th, right upstairs, right? In the Randall Theater. The set is fantastic.
Yes.
So it's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. We have more stuff from you later on, but thank you so much. We will be right back after this. Welcome back to Pitt Tonight. Welcome back to Pitt Tonight. We are honored to have ourselves a little debate, a battle royale between all of the Student Government Board candidates running. You can elect them on March 1st. Just go to your My Pitt portal, except for you, Mom. And let's bring them out now. Everybody welcome our Student Government Board candidates. all dressed up. Making me look bad. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome, everyone. We are going to do a quick introduction of all of the slates. We have 3. 2 of them are made up of 4 candidates. 1 of them is made up of 2, but they're all of equal value to you and your financial contributions to the University of Pittsburgh. Let's introduce our first slate, the Keystone Slate. Just name and year.
Hi, I'm Natalie Dahl. I'm a junior.
Hey everyone, my name is Arlen Carpuzzi and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, my name is Justin Horowitz. I'm a sophomore.
My name is Sydney Harper, and I'm a junior.
Nice. Give it up for Keystone. Our second slate is the HAT slate, which stands for
Health, Awareness, Transportation, and Safety.
And you thought it was just something to put on your head. Let's introduce our 2 candidates from HATS.
Hello, my name is Alyssa LaGuerta, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Rohit Anand. I'm a junior.
Give it up for HATS. And last, but definitely in the top 3, let's hear from Incline.
Hey everyone, my name is Matt Sykes, and I'm a senior.
Hey guys, my name is Max Knice, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi everyone, my name is Samantha Jankowitz, and I'm a junior.
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Cunnercott, and I'm a sophomore.
Give it up for the Incline. So the way we're going to do this is we will have 3 rounds of questions. Each slate will receive 1 question, and each slate will have 1 representative answer that question. So, Incline slate, have you seen Scrubs before? Yeah? All right, good. All right, so now that we're on to hats, have you seen my dog Scruffy? I have not. Well, we'll find him eventually. Okay, finally, the Keystone Slate. How many jelly beans fit in this jar?
1787.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. I have no idea. All right, next round. Keystone. Contractors begin work on a second Oakland Digital Plaza.
We're busy that day.
Does your administration respond with force?
Yes, but I would actually love another one, to be honest.
Next, all right. Well done. Thanks for playing. All right. Hats. SUB is in a position to better the university. Please tell us, how will you and your platform make this a better place for students?
I think a big part of this is going to be transforming student government. What we really want to do, Alyssa and I, is change the perception of student government, make it more inclusive of the entire student body by getting more students to take surveys, join SGB, the ad hoc committees, come to meetings, stuff like that. And I think by doing that, we can have a more active, engaged student body, and by doing that, we can move forward with initiatives at a faster rate and get more things done. So some of the things that we're looking to do is promote cultural competency, make sure that all the students on campus are aware of all the health services offered at the university, improve the transportation and safety on campus, and other things.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. They make me look so bad because they don't need cue cards. Finally, Incline. How many windows are there in New York City?
I actually don't know the answer to that question, but I think a Pathfinder may. Can I toss that question off to Sydney?
Okay. I can tell you the number of windows on the Cathedral Learning. 2,529.
Not bad, Pathfinder, not bad. Harper. That's our last name, it's not just. All right, so now it's round 2, right? How'd round 1 feel? Good? You're not ready for round 2. And let's think. Keystone. You and your platform have a chance to change the university. See, they already know what's coming. Can you talk about how you would do that were you to be elected? 30 seconds.
So our slate is really passionate about making our student government board a better resource for our student organizations by increasing our accessibility, increasing room availability on campus for booking meetings. We're also really passionate about academics, so making textbooks less expensive, clearing up more space in the library, making the overall student experience better, and we're also very passionate about sexual assault education on our campus and really improving our students' resources and also their accessibility and ability to access our different counseling services on campus and also accessing resources around the city as Pittsburgh, including PAR, and also Title IX, conduct, et cetera. So the process of reporting sexual assault is a lot easier. And we really just want to make Pitt a better place for our student body. I know that's a very vague and generalized answer that you're going to hear out of all of our mouths tonight, but it's something that we're really passionate about, and I think that we definitely have the resources to do it.
Thinking the same thing. Hats. What are the units of entropy?
I'm embarrassed to be a science student.
Close. It was joules per Kelvin. Thank you, though. Incline. Here's a serious one. Brad Pitt comes to Pittsburgh and demands we change our name to the University of Brad Pittsburgh. How do you talk him down?
I mean, if he's offering enough money to rebuild our student union, why not?
Boom. Roasted. Thank you so much for that. All right, that's the end of round 2. How'd they do, all right? The last round, final round, championship round, last round. Round 3, Keystone. Who's answering this one?
I think I'm gonna take it.
Arland.
Yes.
Which bear is best?
Black bears.
Black bears?
Black bears.
Black bears.
Black bears.
Black bears.
Bears means Battle Coast Recollective.
Okay, that's what I was about to say.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Final answer.
Black.
Final answer, Arland.
Back bears.
Back bears?
Back bears. I'm about to go with back bears, Jesse.
All right.
Thank you.
Do we see black bears? No. There's nothing to point to. I don't. All right. Hats. What separates your platform from the others, and what can you do to make Pitt a better place for me and the other students?
Like I mentioned before, I think one of the big things about that separates us, we really want to focus on getting more students involved in student government and the university as a whole. I think by having an engaged student body, we can really make a difference on campus, not just for us, but for all the classes that come after us. And some of the things that I think we can do to improve that in the short term is making sure students have enough study space, that stuff like Safe Rider is how it should be, that students feel safe anywhere on campus, and that we're more inclusive culturally, and we all are aware of all of that.
All right, thank you. Finally, incline. Have you been on the incline?
Of course.
Okay.
Yep.
What would you do to make this a better school?
So to make this a better school, you know, Joseph, Sam, Max, and I, we all have a ton of initiatives related to mental health awareness, spreading that, academic initiatives, safety. But you know, at the end of the day, if elected, we're here to serve all of you here tonight, all of you guys watching at home. So we really want to hear your voices, how to improve your Pitt experience, how to improve your peers' Pitt experience. So if you ever have any ideas, come find us, you know, at Hillman, come find us at Sorrento's and let us know. And you know, or Antunes, you know, we like both, right? So like, because at the end of the day, we're your voices to administration. So thanks again, get psyched, and hail to Pitt.
Just quick, raise your hand if you've been involved with Student Government Board before. Any of you. Raise your hand if you are looking to be involved with it. It's a trick question. Well, thank you in advance for all of the money you'll be allocating. Appreciate that. Thank you. Give it up one more time for the SGB candidates. You can vote for them on March 1st on the My Pitt portal. We will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, Terrance Hayes.
Thanks, everybody. I was really torn about what to share with you guys, so I thought something strange and a little bit perverse. So this is like a letter to Old Dirty Bastard. What it looked like. Dear Old Dirty Bastard, I too like it raw. I don't especially care for Duke Ellington at a birthday party. I care less and less about the shapes of shapes because forms change and nothing is more durable than feeling. My uncle used the money I gave him to buy a few vials of what looked like candy after the birthday party, where my grandma sang in an outfit that was obviously made for a West African king. My motto is never mistake what it is for what it looks like. My generosity, for example, is mostly a form of vanity. A bandana is a useful handkerchief, but a handkerchief is a useless ass bandana. This only looks like a footnote in my report concerning the party. Trill stands for what is truly real, though it may be hidden by the houses just over the hills between us, by the hands on the bars between us. That picture of my grandmother with my uncle when he was a baby is not trill. What it is the feeling felt seeing garbage men drift along the pre-dawn avenues, a sloppy, slow rain taking its time up the coast. Bakushan is Japanese for a woman who is beautiful only when viewed from behind. Like I was saying, my motto is never mistake what it is for what it looks like, else you end up like that Negro Othello. Was Othello a Negro? Don't you lie about who you are sometimes and then realize the lie is true? You are blind to your power, brother bastard, like the king who wanders his kingdom searching for the king. And that's okay. No one will tell you you are the king. No one really wants a king anyway.
So much for coming on, Terrance. Here, you mind if I hold on to the copy of your book?
See, I got my handkerchief.
Oh, yeah. Let's get an intro for Terrance. One more time, Terrance Hayes, everyone. Just so you know, you have water on your right.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you again.
Thank you. It's
so
good to
much.
be here. It's good to be here. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm glad. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Did you understand it?
Did I understand it? I understood what you were getting at.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the inspiration for that poem?
Meeting RZA once at a party, and we had a conversation about Old Dirty Bastard. So I thought I should write a poem without actually talking about, meeting RZA. So a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in it.
Wow.
So.
And okay, so you're at Pitt right now. Mm-hmm. You're a professor at Pitt. What do you teach at Pitt?
Well, I teach a lot of things, sort of classes about reading poems and then classes about writing poems. My favorite classes to teach, though, are really the undergrad classes. So like intro to creative writing, intro to poetry. I like to get people when they sort of don't know what it is and surprise them. So, yeah.
That's so fun. Wow. And all right, let's talk about this, get it out of the way. You're a MacArthur Fellowship winner. How has that changed your life and how you people interact with you? What's that like? I mean, I know, but for people who don't know.
I've been waiting to say this, and I haven't said it in any interviews, but no one wants to walk into a room where everybody thinks you're a genius. Too much pressure. So I find myself sweating a lot more than I used to. So, I mean, that's it. I find a lot of time just sort of letting people know that not that much has changed for me. Poetry is still hard. There's still a whole bunch of stuff I don't know. And I mostly think of what it honors is just people who are good at being themselves. So that's what I work on.
And you started writing poetry when? Did people know? I heard people didn't know you wrote poetry until you published your first book.
No, this is true. People being my parents.
Your
Because I went to college on a basketball scholarship, and
what position were you playing?
I played power forward.
Okay.
If I could dribble, I could have gone like D1. I couldn't dribble. And I majored in painting, which was already bad enough for my parents. So I just didn't tell them that I also was writing poems. But I did have a really great professor, which goes back to me really liking undergrads. And you know, he was a wild guy who raised horses and cussed people out and, you know, was a little bit of a nut. But he was totally supportive. And he was the person who actually suggested that I, you know, try graduate school and send the poems that he'd seen and not many other people had seen out. So I did, and here I am.
Wow, what was it like being at Pitt? You were a student at Pitt.
That's right, like? I was a graduate student, and so, I mean, the side story for that is, I applied to a few graduate programs, but I had a friend who was a year older than me, and we'd run track together, and he played for the Steelers. His name was Willie Williams. So I knew that Willie was already in town, and so I thought, oh, I'm gonna go and kind of pretend to be a poet, and I'll hang out with this guy.
That's a great approach.
Yeah. So he was the first person I called. I got in town. I had a little small apartment, and I called and was like, Willie, you know, it's Terrance. I'm in town.
What's up, dude?
Do you hanging out with any cheerleaders tonight? And then he said,
Steelers don't have cheerleaders. That was probably the big.
He also mentioned that. He mentioned that, but he also said, well, you know, you're a grad student, man. I'm an NFL football player. He said it in a very sweet way, but essentially he was like, we can't be seen together. So he gave me tickets while he played. I always had tickets, but I never got to get to the inner circle.
Yeah.
So, but that got me to Pittsburgh. I mean, he's gone now, he's retired, and I'm still here. So I sort of feel like that's what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to sort of feel like I had a network already here, and very quickly I did find that I had a network. It was just people that befriended me and the great poets and artists that were already in the city.
Yeah. Did you meet your wife here? She's a poet as well.
She is. We met at a writer's retreat in upstate New York, and I was actually working for a professor who's now an emeritus professor here, Toy Darracott. She started this organization called Cave Canem. So I just went as her assistant, and my wife was there in that first year. About like a year later, 13 months later, we got married.
Wow,
so,
that must have been the best vow exchange ever.
Well,
like a rap battle or something, you know?
Yeah, right. Well, too much pressure again.
Yeah.
So we had secret vows.
Do you exchange tactics? Do you go head to head? What is your approach?
Well, you know, in the beginning we did, you know, almost 20 years ago, but now it's like we got to take care of the kids. We write at different times, so usually when something's done, we'll show each other. But there used to be a time where I would wake her up because I work at night. I'm, you know, not an insomniac, but I can get by on about, 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So I would come in the room at 2 o'clock and I'd, wake up, I just wrote something good. And so over time, no. Over time, she's like, please just put it by the bed and I'll see it in the morning. So we just, we write privately. It's a lonely job, being a writer, even when you're married to a writer. Yeah. But we do share stuff.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you, your work is wonderful. I've started reading it more and more, especially now that I knew that you were coming on. And my girlfriend told me that if she were to leave me for any person, it would be you. So just letting you know that you are better than me.
See, that makes me sweat.
That makes you sweat. No. So you wrote How to Be Drawn, which it came out last April. And what was the inspiration for this book?
Well, poems come from lots of places. So even before deciding what to read for you guys, I mean, sometimes I'm very serious and sometimes I'm having a little bit of fun. And so I just mostly put a bunch of poems together that also have something to do with the fact that I was a painter in college. And so I thought I should try to write poems that were combining those interests, even though I wouldn't say that that's true in the poem that I read, but a lot of the poems do explore that, that idea of how to draw, how to be drawn, and all the multiple meanings of that. And
you do a lot of art now. I mean, you were a painting major, but you've gotten more back into that?
Sure, and I've always done the covers of my books, which is a sort of lucky break that I got with my publisher. So I'll try to maintain that. And I'll take classes when I can and paint. I mean, painting ultimately was just too expensive. I mean, when I was getting ready to get out of college and thinking, should I go to graduate school for visual arts? And I thought, I can't afford that. Right. But a poet, paper, pen, I could do it. So it was sort of practical.
Vice Chancellor, do you write any poetry?
No.
No. No.
That's actually not true. I have tried my hand at poetry, but needless to say.
You don't have any on you right now.
I don't have any on me, but I wish I would have thought about that.
See? Yeah.
But I don't have any on me, but I would have never performed it today with the genius in the room.
The genius himself.
Never.
He's not. He doesn't like that.
No, I don't. I don't like it at all.
Where can you buy this? I saw it on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and maybe there's some in the Pitt bookstore. I'm not sure. It's around. You know, what I tell people when they buy the books and then they ask me what's going on, I typically will say, you know, you bought it, so it's yours.
Yeah.
So that means I have nothing to do with it. You know, what you understand or don't understand, or where you get it. I just mostly think about the next poem, you know, the poem I'm working on right now, as opposed to the books by the time they're in the world.
My last question for you is, you're not always a rhymer? What's your opinion on rhyming? Because I feel like when I always go to write poetry, I've got to rhyme one-syllable words, one-syllable word with one-syllable words, and I don't know. I mean, what's your take on that?
It's all verbal, and so...
You're all about just self-expression.
I am all about self-expression, but I do listen. So the guy that I'm into now, although probably everybody is like Future. You know, I like Drake too, and so he has a song, I can't say, the title is like F Up Some Commas. And I think the song is not that good, but the idea, like that's, so when I go, actually just a few days ago, I said to my wife, I'm about to go F up some commas. You know? So they're verbal, like that's a brilliant kind of turn of phrase about like what a writer does. And as long as you don't look too closely at what they're saying, you'll be all right.
How does your wife react when you say something like
She thought it was cool, but she didn't know. So I put the video on for her and my 16-year-old, and neither of them were into the dude. I'm like, it's Future, like this is a good song. They didn't go with me. So that's to say that I still have a deep respect for what rappers do and the music that they make. But it's different, but it is language, and so you have to value it, you know, as a different a different room in the big house of poetry.
Yeah. So Future, Drake. Do you have any others that you really go after? Childish.
Childish Gambino, yeah, he's good. He's good. Donald Glover. I mean, I like all of these guys. And the old school is good too. And then there are people that maybe some people know, like MF Doom is always interesting to me, or Cool Keith. I don't, you know, we start getting like to the underground. Young Thug is interesting too, you know. So.
Do you ever try to write any raps?
So when I was in Pittsburgh, among the people that I befriended were poets and rappers, and so we would go to the open mics to get the money. So, you know, a freestyle rapper could win any open mic contest.
Can you freestyle?
No, it wasn't me. I was with these guys.
Oh, okay.
So the thing that they would always say to me is that I like to have my paper so that people know it's written. And so if you think about like the notion of spoken word, I definitely want people to know that I'm reading something that I've written down. But that was always a joke with these guys. They would say to me, why do you have the paper, man? You should just memorize it. And I'd be like, well, why memorize it when I got it in a book? You know, I got other stuff I need to memorize. But yeah, so I did befriend a lot of rappers when I got to town, and I do still consider them sort of a cohort, those guys who are now in their 40s. So I don't know if you can be a 40-year-old rapper.
Ask Jay-Z.
So, well, is Jay-Z a rapper? So he's a businessman.
He's a businessman
now. Yeah. So, you know, but that respect and that kind of appreciation of language is still there.
That's so fun. And you're getting an honorary degree soon from, can you explain this? Maybe the Vice Chancellor can.
Well, I guess they give them out from time to time, and
they're not just throwing them out there. Like,
right. Well,
believe
not that
me, I would have had mine 3 years ago.
That's right. So, you know, when I said to my parents that I was going to go to graduate school and get a degree, they automatically thought that was a PhD. So regardless of the books and prizes, my mom is always like, well, you're not going to go get your doctorate? You're not going to get... She still asks me that. And I'm like, I don't need it. You know, I'm a professor, you know, but she still asks. So I told her about this, and she was so excited. So she was like, so can I call you doctor? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think that's, people work pretty hard to become doctors, so I don't think I would be comfortable with that. And she's like, no, you're wrong. So then I got a string of emails from my first cousins and my grandmother, Dr. Hayes, Dr. Hayes. It's an honorary doctorate, y'all.
We have 2 doctors here.
Well, as I said, it's an honorary. That's an important part.
I won't go to you for medical advice.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Well, so, but it's a great honor, and I'm looking forward to it. And I feel like, you know, it can only happen at my alma mater. I mean, I feel really honored to have Pitt bestow me with this great honor.
Write it down. That's the quote of the year. You can read and you can buy How to Be Drawn by Terrance Hayes. It's available in the Pitt bookstore, on Amazon. I want to read some poetry with you. Is that okay?
How good are you?
We'll find out. We'll find out right when we get back. Give it up
We
one
will,
more time
we
for
will.
Terrance Hayes. Terrance, thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here, and this is a nice surprise. Having this intimate moment with you. What's going on? What's the matter?
No, nothing.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm.
You look like something's on your mind.
I don't know. Just, there's this girl.
It's always a girl.
Yeah, I don't know. She's amazing, Terrance. She's incredible. But I want to write her poetry, but I don't know. I don't know. No.
Surely, I mean, you probably tried. Have you tried?
No. But it's not at your level. I mean, you're Terrance
So
Hayes.
you do. So you do have some stuff. You've tried poems for this girl. I'm sure they're pretty good. With your charm. Are you going? Will you? Let's hear it. Do we want to hear some poems, guys? I'm sure they're awesome. Yeah. This is what I do. This is what I do, man. I'm so excited. This is great.
If you insist.
And look, it's full, too. There's a lot of stuff in there. This is going to be awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear it.
Girl, you got me like a hawk. That hawk has something in its talons. Me. I want to be with you. All I want is to be true. Like a hawk. Girl, you got me like a hawk. That hawk has something in its talons. That something is me. In your talons. You're the hawk. What'd you think?
It's got a lot of birds in it.
I knew I shouldn't have read this to you.
No.
Do you want me to read it again? I can.
No. Don't read it again. But you're probably just getting warmed up. Maybe that was an earlier poem.
I don't know. I wrote another one. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, let's hear something more recent.
Okay. Thank you. Let's find a good one.
All right. I'm ready now. You got warmed up. You're playing with this. Okay,
this one is about loss.
All right.
Losing you sucked more than that time at the zoo when I touched the stingray. You were amazing. I can't believe this happened. It hurt like a ray that stung me real bad. Like that time at the zoo when I touched the stingray. How about that? Is that?
So, I'm a teacher. What I say is that, anybody can become a poet. You're making me question that. I know your heart's in the right place. So, one thing you might do is like read her somebody else's. So, do you know Neruda, Pablo Neruda?
He's all right.
Well, let's just try this on for size. So think about what he's doing and then compare that to what you were doing. No orangutans in this poem. So it's just a sonnet. You know what a sonnet is? A love poem. I do not love you as if you were salt rose or topaz, or the hour of carnations the fire shoots off. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. I love you as the plant that never blooms but carries in itself the light of hidden flowers. Thanks to your love, a certain solid fragrance risen from the earth lives darkly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you straightforwardly, without complexities or pride. So I love you because I know no other way than this, where I does not exist, nor you, so close that your hand on my chest is my hand, so close that your eyes close as I fall asleep.
It needs some work, but that's good.
Man, you're hopeless. But come on, I mean, I'm still thinking that deep down inside, if you really want this girl, you might have.
I think I know.
Okay, now come on, don't let me down.
I've been holding out on this one.
You have been holding out. Let's hear it.
You said no orangutans?
I was joking. I didn't think that.
Destruction of our embrace causes me to reconsider. Reconsider our devotion. Reconsider our surrender. Much like an orangutan swings from
all right, I'm going.
The branches
man.
until one breaks. Like this one time I went to the zoo and saw an orangutan fall from a tree. Terrance, come back. He really hurt himself. Terrance Hayes, everyone. A lot of times you see them bounce right back, but not this time. I was an orangutan. Sometimes we have issues in our lives. Like people calling us dean instead of vice chancellor. Maybe even copyright issues. Should we be worried right now? Oh well. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow.
But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show.
Don't hold me, brother, when you need a hand.
We all need somebody to lean on.
I just might have a problem that you understand.
We all need somebody to lean on. There is a road I'll have to carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. There is a load you have to bear that you can carry. Right up the road, I'll share your load if you just call me. Call me if you need a friend. Everybody, give it up for Vice Chancellor.